We're going to talk about Harry Kane. 30 Premier League goals he's got this season.
That's unbelievable.
Okay? And no one's talking about him, right? Because of Haaland, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you now, I'll tell everyone out there's prepared to listen. Harry Kane would get the record if he played for Man City.
I think I believe that.
I sincerely...
I believe that.
He has played in a side that ended up finishing 8th. 30 Premier League goals. Insane record again. He is one of the greatest strikers in the world right now. He's not a traditional number 9 like Haaland. He's a number 10. Drop in there. He can do both. Set goals up, assists. Harry Kane has got a year left in his contract. Where will Spurs be next year if he does decide to leave? I'm going to throw that out there. Under the radar.
Relegation.
Under the radar because of what Erling Haaland deserves all the plaudits. I'm not taking anything away from him. But let me tell you now, Harry Kane would be right up there in the conversation about one of the greatest strikers the Premier League's ever seen. And he isn't because he's English and people say, oh, he's not got the goals that are... Let me tell you now, mate, his record is off the clock.
Unbelievable. And I think if Spurs didn't have Harry Kane, I really believe there would have been a relegation fight.
Next season with that Kane?
If he wasn't there this season, there would have been a relegation fight. Next season, they could be. Because he scored, 75% of their goals this season?
Well, they scored 70, he scored 30.
All right, half, or just under half.
Just
under half.
Yeah, so 40 goals, right? They've got 40 goals.
Almost half of your team's goals. That's relegation talk if he wasn't there.
03717 22
and he will go. And he will go.
Do you think this window?
I think he's going Chelsea. I've heard good rumours.
Gemma, don't do this.
I've had a good source. I've had a good source that he's going Chelsea. Now, I said this on last week when I was on, and I'm going to say it again. I've had a good source that Harry Kane's going to go to Chelsea.
Now, Gemma, you've not told me this off air. You're telling this live.
I'm telling you not.
I'm not privy to this.
I want to see the reaction. I want to see it in your eyes.
Look at my face.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very
happy. Are you winding me up?
You're like a Cheshire cat right now.
Are you winding me up?
You're excited.
I am.
You are looking giddy right now.
I tell you now, there'll be riots. Okay. There'll be riots. Okay. There's no way Levy's doing that. 03717 22 33 4. Let's go and speak to Martin, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Martin.
Oh, hi, good evening.
All right, Martin, you sound very serious.
I'm a bit sad that Leicester have gone down.
Oh, yeah. Why you saying Leicester went down? Were you a big Vardy fan?
No, to be honest with you, I think that if Everton were true to themselves, like the club, as we know, is poorly run. I mean, it's rotten to the core. I mean, that Decore goal today, there was nothing great about that goal.
Good strike.
There was nothing great about it whatsoever.
Bitter.
And personally, when Liverpool played Leicester, I would have put the kids out that Leicester could have won. I just think that, don't get me wrong, Everton have been there for 70-odd years. The derby game's a big thing. And it's great for the economy for the city of Liverpool to have Everton there.
You don't care.
Who do you support, Martin? Who do you support?
I support Liverpool. But
come on, you must not want that. Martin.
No.
Seriously?
I love this. I love Martin already.
Everton have been on the brink of relegation for the last couple of years, and it's boring now. And I think they need to go down and to come back up with their new stadium. And if Everton fans come on here, a lot of them would probably say the same thing because they're sick of them. It's the club's rotten to the core. It's a bit like Tottenham. Daniel Levy and the club and Everton's board should go and play bingo on a Saturday night because people are just sick to death.
Oh my word! This is Martin. You're shooting from the hip here. Why do you hate Everton?
No, I just think I'm just fed up with them, and I felt a bit sad for Leicester, it's just one of those things. Yeah. But as for Liverpool, I think it's been a disappointing season. I think they need to do a bit of rebuilding now for the summer, and they finished 5th, but I don't know. It's just one of those things.
It's one of those seasons. I think everyone's got to rebuild. Liverpool's got to rebuild their midfield. It's weak. It's slacking. No energy. No legs. But I'm glad that Everton have stayed up though, Martin. That that derby day. It's a special day. Just so we can beat them. Just so we can cheer and beat them and gloat when we beat them on derby day. Everyone wants to beat their arch right derbies. Come on, Martin.
No, I wanted Leicester this time. I wanted Leicester. Everton had to go. They had to
Leicester
go.
had the chance, but they're not good enough, unfortunately. If you're not good enough, you have to go downstairs.
Martin, I'll tell you what I find quite disturbing, right? The fact that you phoned up as a Liverpool fan, and the vitriol that you're showing to Everton is quite. I mean, it's there. You really do. You really wanted them relegated. I mean, do you know what? Possibly relegated possibly means won't see them for maybe a decade.
No, I think they'd come back.
Oh, do you know?
I think.
Okay.
I think Doy. As for Sean Dyche, I think that he done okay, but I think if any manager, even if it was Sam Allardyce, he probably would have kept them up anyway. It's nothing special for him to keep Everton up because I don't know. Do you remember Coventry City and Southampton in the 1990s where they just kept on staying up and avoiding relegation? Yeah. That's what Everton have become.
Well, Southampton were doing that for a while. Now look at them. Again, they've fallen through that trapdoor. They've lifted their skirt. They've shown a bit of leg to that championship, and eventually that championship. Oh, I like
naughty.
I like a little bit of that. And that's what's happened.
Flirting.
Are they? So if you had a choice now, he's gone. Where's he gone? He's just disappeared. All right. He's gone. Let's go and speak to Chris Forium. Now I know Chris. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the Sports Bar. Hi, Chris. Now you and I spoke many years, haven't we?
We have.
You're part of you got a podcast, right?
I have Leicester Till I Die TV.
Leicester Till I Die TV. I mean, Chris, commiserations, but to be honest with you, it's not the biggest surprise in the world, is it?
It's not. We've sleptwalked to the championship. We know it's been going on all year. It's a bit of a hangover from last year when we finished last year 8th and we finished in the semi-finals of the European Cup. Mm-hmm. But we weren't that good. Last season we weren't that good. Decisions weren't made when they should have been. We should have changed managers a lot earlier. It was so obvious that he wasn't working with Brendan this season. All he could do was throw players under the bus. I'd heard that bus drivers in Leicester couldn't get insurance because they were running over that many players.
Oh my word!
It was. Yeah, no. I mean, seriously, he'd gone past his sell-by day. I just wonder if I can have Gorinda's season ticket next year.
Oh, you want Gorinda? And also, there's a guy I heard on the way in. I think it's Brian, the Leicester fan, who I think he's giving his season ticket up next season as well.
Well, either of them. I'll take either of them. But look, now, the table doesn't lie. No. We did not get relegated today. We got relegated over 38 games. We just weren't good enough. And, the question you've got to ask is, the fight that the players showed against Newcastle and the fight that the players showed against West Ham, where has that fight been from some of them for the last 37 games? Yeah. Yeah. Tielemans doesn't want to play for the club, obviously. He won't sign the contract. Maddison's preening himself for the cameras every time. Oh,
dear. Chris, leave the bitterness behind. They won the FA Cup for you, though, as well, didn't they, though?
Exactly. So, yeah, but then that comes back to Brendan because it's the same team that won the FA Cup. Right. Okay. Why were we in a relegation fight?
Chris, I'm going to say you can't enjoy your summer, but I appreciate the call. Keep them coming. 03717 2233 44.